So see on this, there's a little white deal here, and it just pops out of there. Kitchen Craft, that's the cabinet name. And see that little thing just has some nibs on there, so when you get done, you push that on there. But it's been years. The bottom one's missing. There's bottom one's missing over here too. And well, anyways, so I think it's just a matter of loosening those two screws, and I don't even think I have to pull them out all the way. I think it'll just slide out. Yes, it will. That one's already starting to slide, and I'm gonna try to remember where that screw is in relation to whether or not to push this cabinet in and out. It's kind of in the middle, kind of, so to speak, because there's nibs on there. Once you reinstall it, then you want to check your door, because you can make adjustments. You can make adjustments by this for your cabinet to go in and out. Okay, so see, I just have to loosen the screw a little bit more. I was going to say initially unloosen. I have to unloosen the screws. Crack me up. My electrician used to say that to me all the time. I have to unloosen this. I have to unloosen that. And I look at him with a sly smile on my face, and I say, "You mean you have to tighten it? Because unloosen means tighten, right?" Okay, so I'm going to take the other cabinet off, the cabinet door off here, and get ready to do that one. In fact, let's just, since you're right here, I don't know if, I guess you'll be able to see this one. I'm not really left-handed, but hey, we'll see what I can do here. See, it looks like I'm about in the middle. It's not, the cabinet door is not tight. Yeah, I might have to do this with my right hand. Okay, like that. I loosen it enough, and then I'll be able to get the door off. Okay. See, I got to loosen that one a little bit more. Just let it come over a nib. See, that's it. I can leave those screws alone like that, and that's how you're going to take these doors off. It's a good idea to take your doors off before you start working underneath your sink. Trust me. The last thing you want to do is bend one of those back into it, have somebody else be helping you and back into it or whatever, and now you've got to fix your cabinet door. You know, last thing you want to do. And also, just remember, not all concealed hinge cabinet doors come off that way. I've seen at least 3 different ways, maybe 4 different ways on taking those doors off. So look at yours, be careful about it, check it out, and do it right. Yeah, I'm being overly conscious about being cautious. I've just got a crummy towel here, and I wish I had a worse off towel. But put that down on your floor, especially if you've got carpet this color. Last thing you want is to undo anything, get any grease on the floor, get any dark marks on the floor, and try to clean it out later, and all of a sudden, yeah, Joe fixed the sink. Can't you tell? We've got marks on our floor now. That's why I moved the rug. I got it folded up over there. This is an old towel. And just be ready for your project. You know what I mean? Now, I got 2 buckets here, and I'll decide which one to use. I could pretty much use either one, couldn't I? Okay. I think I'll use the shorter one just so that you can kind of see what's going on, because all that's going to happen is when I undo this, a little bit of water is going to drip out of there. And most of it I'm going to balance in here when I take it off. You know what I mean? And then afterwards, I can wipe up the floor. That's why I got my sponge here. I've got my towel. I got a crummy towel here. I got a sponge here. I got my water bucket over here. Then I can wipe that up before the next step, because we know I got to get this out of here, right? And before I get that out of there, I want to undo this trap. Okay, once I get the trap out, you might be able to see a little bit better there. So I have to take the trap out no matter what. Make sense? I might as well just work on that next. And I'm going to try to keep you a ways off there a little bit so that I won't get in your way very much. And oh, I got my little knee pad here too. I always use. Now, these adjustable P-traps usually have a little nib on them. Now, I say I'm going to set you up there. I don't know if you can see those. You see that little thing right there? And there's some up here. See? I can take that with my thumb and my finger or whatever to try to get that off. And if it doesn't come off, then I use my let's see, you're good there. Then I use my channel locks. Channel locks, this is what I call channel locks. This here, and I can adjust it however I want. And this is the medium-sized channel locks. You don't want to get the small one because the small one usually won't fit around here and you might have a hard time with it. Especially, not all P-traps are created equal. This one's an ABS, this is black. They've got white ones, they've got gray ones, they've got silver ones. The silver steel ones have steel nuts on here, and usually those nuts are really hard to get off. If you've not touched them for a while, you could crack it, you could break it. Next time you go to put this back on, it could start leaking. All kinds of things that will happen. Okay, so first I'm going to just try to see if I can loosen this. I don't know when the last time this has been loosened to take off, but I think I'll be able to do it. Yeah, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey on undoing nuts, okay? All right, I think, see this one's coming, and there's some white stuff here, and oh my word, I think they put plumber's putty on the threads even. Okay, I don't want to undo that all the way just yet, in case I can't get this back one off. Yeah. Oh, see that one's going to be tough. So I'm going to get my my channel locks out. I'm going to loosen this. I don't want to go all the way just yet because I want to do it so that I can get it loose, so I can do it with my hands without it starting to leak all over the place. Okay, yeah, I'm getting it. Okay, I can see where the water's going to come out of this one first, it looks like. And I'm trying to do this in such a way to where I can reuse these. You know, they haven't leaked before, and that's what happens a lot of times when you start working on plumbing stuff. See, I could have got a bigger container, or even a pan, like a little metal one, low pan, kind of like how you bake turkeys in, or something like that. But see, even if a little water gets on the floor, I don't really care, because I'm gonna wipe that up before my next go. Grief. Like I say, I have not undone this before, and this house is 20 years old, over 20 years old. The chances are nobody else has either, and that's another reason why I figure I might as well go the extra mile for Mommy and get this one clean, so I can actually tell her, yes, I've cleaned it all, I checked it, I've rinsed this all out, I looked up in here and got all the gunk out of it. Now see, this one I just loosened a little bit. I could probably take the whole thing off even with this nut on there, but I think I'm just going to loosen it up, because there should be a little plastic sleeve on there. If I pull it off all the way, the sleeve will come off too. I guess that's not going to hurt anything. Yeah, okay. And now I can just tip that out of there. See, by taking this off, yeah, I'm gonna have to clean this up and get a metal brush on there and all that kind of good stuff to get that, because when I put this back on, I'm going to use Teflon tape. Okay, here's a little nylon washer that fits up in there, and see, that's how this holds up there with this washer like that. See, that just stays up there. Once I get that tightened, I'll pull that down. But I'm gonna look at that. I'm gonna look at that too, and I'm gonna clean that off because the threads. See, it has somebody years ago. That's what they did. They put. I say plumber's putty. It's probably not plumber's putty. It's probably more like a paste, where they put that paste on there, and then they use that because 20 years ago, did they have Teflon tape? Yeah, they did. Why didn't the guy use Teflon tape? That's what I'm going to use to reinstall this. So see, when I get all before I put all this back, now this one here, I can't take that one off because of that. I'll just have to clean off some of the stuff, and then I'll put Teflon tape on this whole thing, on these threads, before I thread it back up here. That's why I have to clean all that stuff out. And this is your time to think. You see this vinyl washer? You can buy these at the store, and this one happens to be 1.5 inches by 1.25 inch reducer, and I know that because it's fatter. Usually your pipe going into the wall is 1.5 inches or 2 inch, and in this case it's 1.5 inches, but the pipe that usually goes up to your sink is usually 1.25 inches. I don't know why they do that. So then you always have to get a reducer thing, and it's all set up. When you buy your P-traps and all that kind of stuff and your fittings, you got to know what size to get, because not all P-traps are created equal either. So they got sizes, they got stuff for everything. Okay, so now that I've got that, I'm gonna kind of clean this up before we do our next step. And the next step is I'll show you what I'm going to do back in there. Okay, stick around. I hope you're learning some good stuff here.